Hi guys, today's project is a DIY mirrored coffee table with LED lights. I bought my plywood from the Home Depot and it's 1/2 inch, and I have them cut it for me, but they started to mess it up real bad and they told me that the cuts are not really precise. So I decided to buy my own jigsaw, and I went home and I ordered one and some blades. It's pretty straightforward and easy to use, and I had so much fun cutting my own wood. So the sizes are on the screen if you'd like to know the exact cut. And I'll be making my coffee table to match a clear glass that I already have for the top, and it measures 23 and 5/8 by 35 inches. And these small pieces, they will be for my legs, and my legs will be 4 by 4. And these small strips of wood, they will be for the top to make my housing for the light and also to elevate my glass from my beads. So I'm just going to make my legs first, and I'll get those out of the way. And I'm going to be using my Gorilla wood glue, and I'll be using my wood glue in all the seams before I attach my wood pieces. So for my legs, I'll be using this 3 by 3 square, and then I have 2 pieces of 4 by 3 and 2 pieces of 4 by 4. So to help me hold my pieces until I screw them together, I'll be using my stapler. And then I'll attach them with my 1 1/4 inch screws, and I'll use my drill driver for that. Now I'll proceed to making the frame of my coffee table, and to help me hold it in place, I'm just going to be using my staple gun. And I'm putting my Gorilla wood glue in all the seams before I drill them together. And I'm also using a piece of painter's tape to help me to hold it together so it's aligned properly. The plywood is 1/2 inch, which the actual size is 0.4 inch, so I have to be very careful in where I'm placing the screw. Right between the 1/4 inch mark, away from the edge, that's where I'll be placing the screws. Remember, I told you they messed up my cuts, so the 2 long sides I had to cut them down to 11 inches. So I had to sit those on the top of the base that you're seeing right now. And then the 2 short sides, they're 12 inches, so I had to set them on the side of the base. So I'll just have to flip it over and attach the screws from the base on the 2 long sides. And I'm putting enough screws so my table will be very strong. If it's your first time here, I just want to give you a warm welcome. My name is Nisi. The channel is Budget Friendly Creations. I hope you'll be able to stick around, subscribe to the channel, and turn your bell notifications on so you'll get notified the moment a new video is ready for you to view. And to all my current subscribers, I appreciate you guys so much for always coming back to support my channel. So while I have it in this position, this is the base. I'll just attach my legs, and I'll make sure that they're straight, and I'm putting it directly on the corners, and then I'll use my Gorilla wood glue to attach them, and I'll also use 4 screws in each leg. And now I'll flip my table over and I'll attach my top. And I'm just using my rubber mallet to make sure that it's aligned properly. So now it's time to attach my wood strips to the top. So on 2 sides I have a 1/4 inch hanging off, and that's because the plywood is actually 0.4 inches. So I'll just use a 1/4 inch plywood for those 2 sides, and then I cut strips from my 1/2 inch plywood for the other 2 sides, for the long sides. And I'll use my wood glue to attach them, and I have 1 1/2 inch nails, and I'll just nail those in with my hammer. And then I'll just take it outside and I'll spray paint only the top with my Rust-Oleum Chrome spray paint. Now it's time to apply my mirrors, and I'll be using my Loctite construction adhesive. And I got my mirror from Walmart. I bought the large mirror that they have for $6 and change, and I use this cutting tool, this glass cutter, to cut it down to size. And so the mirror on the large mirror on the side is 34 by 12 inches high. And then for the legs, I'll be using, my legs are 4 inches, and I'll be using a 3-inch mirror along with 1/2 inch on each side and around the edges. So I'll be putting mirrors on 2 sides, the outer sides, and on the inside I'll be using these acrylic mirrors. And on the base of my legs, I'll be using this felt roll. I cut each piece in 4-inch squares, and I just use my hot glue to glue it onto the base. And to cover up my 1/2 inch plywood strips on the top, I'm using 1-inch mirrors to go around so I can have a little housing for my lights that I'll be applying. And to attach my lights, I have 2 of them. I just drill a small hole that can fit the wires. And these are my 2 fairy lights. And I just use my hot glue to attach them to the inner corners of the table, and I place them along the sides opposite each other. So on the top, I'll be using my same 3-inch mirrors, and I place them in a check design, and I made sure that everything was straight, and then I use my pencil to trace each one so I can reapply them in the same position. So now I'll just reapply them, and I'll use my construction adhesive. So I used my 1-inch mirrors so I can house my lights, and I'll be using this piece of chopping mat from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to cut them in 1/2-inch strips, and I'll just place those 1/2-inch strips right along the mirrors, and I'll use my hot glue to apply them just like this along the lines. I bought this beautiful bling ribbon on Amazon, and that's what I'll be using on the sides and on the base of the mirrors. And I'm just going to be using my hot glue to apply them. And I'll leave a full list of all the items I used in the description box below. I bought the exact size as the plywood, which is 0.4 inch, but I should have gotten a 1/2 inch instead, because I ended up with this little seam right there in the corners. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to cut each of these and just a little strip to add in between the corners, and I did that. It was easy to do. Okay, so to apply my confetti beads, I got these from Hobby Lobby, 2 packs, and I have a little bit of vase fillers, which is, they're the same size as the beads, and I'll just mix them all together, and then I'll use my tacky glue to apply it. The ideal glue to use for this is the Loctite Power Grab. I did not have any on hand, and I did not want to go back to the store, but I got it the next day when I went. Power Grab dries clear, and I took a chance with my tacky glue, and I was pleasantly surprised that they dried clear. I'll show you in the end a close-up of how they dried. So I'm just filling up the space with the bead, 1 flat layer, because these beads are really expensive. So I'm just going to be using my glitter to fill in any space that's left open. Basically, I'm just trying to cover the surface where the glue is. So this is the corner where I put my 2 lights, and both of them are running down on the side, and this is before I attach my bling ribbon. And those bulbs that are showing on the side, I'll use my 3M electrical tape to just cover those up so they won't show when I turn my lights on. And I use my hot glue to attach the switches to the base, and I just tape the extra on the bottom, and I used my electrical tape to just tape everything underneath. So now it's time to clean up all the extra glitter, and I'm just going to be using my vacuum cleaner, and I'll just clean everything up, and then I'll just use my glass cleaner to clean my mirrors. And I gave the tacky glue a full 24 hours to dry, and see, they're very nice and clear. So before I apply my clear glass, my glass actually is 23 and 5/8 by 35 inches. I'll be using these acrylic bumpers, and I already applied 4 of them, and the glass is on top. And this is our beautiful result, guys. This is my first official coffee table, and I'm so proud of myself, so happy with it. What do you think, guys? Think I did good? I think I did good. Let me know in the comment section if you'll give something like this a try. And here it is with the lights. It's so beautiful. Such a beautiful table. I forgot to give you guys a shot of my ceiling. When my overhead light is on and it's beaming down on the mirror, you just see the beautiful checked design in the ceiling. It's so beautiful. Let me know what you think about this one, guys. I'm so happy with this coffee table. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you spending the time with me. And please check out my other DIYs, and please subscribe. Remember to subscribe and turn your bell notifications on, so every week when I post a new video, you'll get notified. Alright? Thank you very much, and take care.